Hi there, it's me, Christian Merriman here at the Wagon Riders of the Sticks. Sorry I haven't been feeling well. I missed stand-up comedy last week. Maybe I'll go back this week. I haven't decided yet. But I thought I'd check in with you guys. I did get some new toys, and that's always a reason to smile. And that's always something to share with my friends in TV land. And so I'd like to introduce you to a fellow by the name of Pulvereye. That's right, like pulverize. To pulverize something is a verb, but here's pulver-eye, right? So it's a sort of a play on words. And you might notice, oh, only one eye. Maybe that's why he's called Pulvereye. Because he only has one eye, he's gonna pulverize you. Cute, right? Fun. Now, even though he's clearly a Cyclops, you know, this is your first edition, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons logic, where, honestly, if you look at the original Monster Manual, they show orcs with pig heads. Like, what was an orc was kind of ill-defined. It's just kind of nasty, monstrous-looking humanoid, and, you know, maybe there was one that had 3 eyes. They would have the same amount of stats, their hit points, whatever, but you could just add color that way, you know. So that's how I'm going to explain him. Also, as a kind of a Caucasian skin tone, right? I think the world of fandom has collectively decided on green. I think maybe from Warhammer. Green is a good, you know, skin color for orc type guys, you know, but why not, you know, just basic Caucasian pink too. Maybe there's all kinds. Who knows? They got all the colors of the rainbow, and maybe 1 eye, 2 eye, 3. Maybe they got 2 orcs with 2 noses or 4 ears. You know, 2 mouths, and still just, you know, give them the same stats. Just to be weird, right? So that's what's up with this guy. It's got absolutely that early 80s aesthetic that it's kind of primitive, but yet there's something so endearing about it, you know, that it looks so handmade. And it really was back in the day, you know. So let me read this for you. First of all, he has a new battle-matic action. Secret lever, or lever, regional pronunciation. Secret lever makes arms move. Cool. Pulvereye, trademark. Orc High Chief. Pulvereye is the fierce leader of all the orcs. He revels in warfare and always seeks new territory for his race. Pulvereye orders his people to raise and destroy elvish homelands whenever possible. Magic cast by elves can't hurt him. He has one central eye that never blinks. He uses powerful enchanted weapons whenever he enters battle. And there's the text. You pause that if you wanted to read that yourself. Okay. And now on the back, we see Dungeons & Dragons, collect them all. So if you're unfamiliar, this line of action figures originally came out when I was a little kid in the early 80s. And I never collected all of them, but I collected many of them. And then I guess it was canceled. So the idea here behind this company, and I should know, who made this? There it is. Neca, right? You see the company called Neca with the rainbow logo. I think, if I recall correctly, I heard that these designs were created back in the day as prototypes, and they never actually came into production. So they finally came around to making these, and I got a good deal on them. And I think they look really, really sharp. And I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up right now. It's time to open up Pulvereye. I'll do it with one eye. not closed. Just for fun. To add the challenge, I'm going to add a challenge factor here. Can I do it without looking at it at all, while still keeping the packaging reasonably nice looking? This is the classic packaging. You'll see, like Boss Fight Studio, they're making that kind of packaging where you can just put the figure back. It's like replaceable. Everything slides in. This is more, you know, us old school action figure collectors. We're very, very familiar with the bubble pack, right? So this comes right off, just like a G.I. Joe card, Star Wars, etc. And we have the clamshell here. We got some accessories. I'm going to set those aside and pull out the action figure as well. Look at him. Pretty cool. Definitely not my most handsome action figure. Okay, now I'm just realizing there is something around his waist. There is, I don't know if it's a rubber band. Okay, so we're going to use the scissors on this job. Behind his back and hips around there, there's, yeah. Clip that, and then I'm going to pull him out. Nice and easy. And there he is. Like they said on the package, he has this lever on his arm that'll move, or it's on his back, so it'll move his left arm, which does not appear to have, okay, this seems like a mistake. Look at the hands. So the right hand looks like it can hold a weapon. But how about the left hand? But yet the left hand is the one that moves. I'm not sure what the logic is there. Maybe he hits people with his shield? I don't quite know. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the accessories now. So he has a spider web shaped shield and a spider, a giant spider. He has I guess I'd call it a pole axe, is the name of that sort of a weapon, along with a sword, a kind of a saber, with a kind of, almost like a saw blade. Honestly, a blade like that would probably get stuck if you used it. And then this long bit here, I'm not even quite sure. There's a long black pole right here. I'm going to have to start extracting items. Let's start with this spider. Okay. So there it is. It does have a little hole. I'm wondering if this maybe integrates with the shield, perhaps. Like it sits on the shield. Sort of like Conan the Barbarian with his phoenix shield, right? You got like a little critter that comes flying off your shield. Okay, so this is still a little bit unclear what this is about. It's a little thicker on one end. Still kind of feel like that's... I might have to... Sometimes you got to look at the photos to figure out what they intended for the customer to do with some of these accessories, right? Okay, so we got the pole axe, very long. And the last accessory is this sword. And the handle reminds me of something from ancient Greece, like in 300, right? But this blade, it looks cool. It's just a kid's toy, right? Anyway, so let's see how all these bits and pieces can go together now. Like I said, I believe that the spider is going to pop right into, yeah, it does fit into the hole, but it does not click in. So that's not great, but maybe it's me. Okay, and all right, so now this pole does fit into the spider. There's a hole in the bottom of the spider's body there. So, not quite sure. I'm going to set that aside. And he has 2 weapons. So I'm going to take a look at the photo. Yeah, so he definitely wants to wear his shield on his left. And if we look at the photo, I don't really see this long black stick anywhere. I don't see the spider anywhere. And I also don't see the sword. So I think the others are just sort of extras that get set aside. Just based on the photographs. Okay, so I'm going to give him his best weapons. And the last thing I'd like to do is see, I don't know, is this helmet removable? It looks kind of removable. Yes, good news. Look at that, he has gray hair, who knew? And his pointy ears seem so much more prominent now without the helmet as well. So, that's cool. I'm looking for somewhere to put the sword, like a little scabbard, sheath, holster kind of thing. And I'm missing it, but then again, I managed to go my whole childhood without realizing that Cobra Commander's gun fit right into his back. So, you know, I could be wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and give this action figure a thumbs up. It's a cool action figure. It is different than Boss Fight Studio. Much less articulation, of course. And it's very much in the sort of classic 80s style. It has, you know, the articulation in the arms, so which you could do with your lever in the back. Okay, it moves. Oh, the legs barely move. Wow. Essentially, this guy is standing up for life. Okay, maybe his head can move a bit. Let's see. Take the helmet off. No, not even a millimeter of movement on that neck. Okay, but you know that's fine. It's okay. Look at him. You know, he reminds me of the guy in Krull. You remember that giant Cyclops guy in Krull? You know, there's just something kind of disquieting, just something disturbing about that. Just that one eye like that. Imagine being that actor making that movie and having to wear that over your eyes the whole time. It must have been an unpleasant experience. I do recall hearing that the myth of the Cyclops was actually based on looking at elephant skulls, because they have like the one nasal cavity. That the theory is that maybe people thought that was, you know, an eye, or that it was a skull of a giant with one eye, but who knows? Anyway, I recommend this action figure. Good job, Neca. And bring back the other ones while you're at it. You know, the more popular one, Warduke and what's his name? Braveheart or Strongheart or something, right? You know, the good guy, right? All those guys. Make them again. They were great. Bring them back. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wagon Riders of the Sticks. I'm Christian Merriman. I'm Christian Merriman.